Okay, Joshua Taylor back to you. It's March 15th. Actually, my friend of mine's birthday today. Hi, Colleen. And I'd like to show you this. This is a picture of a 1-gallon plastic juice container. I forgot to draw in the ripples on the side. Remember those old juice containers in the past? They had the pull tabs, and they got about, shrink wrap around the ripples on the side. One of those. Anyway, back before the Lord gave me the discovery of the JOEPIPE technology, I was living in Vancouver, in East Van there on the east side, and living in a basement apartment. And I built myself a little test shed outside, and I was doing these rocket experiments using water gas. I'm just going to draw this out. And what I saw something that a flame reaction that went way beyond a hydrogen burn or even an HHO burn. Okay, so I'm just going to draw the containment. I think I had 1, 2. I have air coming in. Air, gas, and H2O. And I'm going to call it like a wet gas coming up. Okay, this is what I was doing back in 1998 or so, before the discovery of the JOEPIPE. It's actually the summertime, and I had a 1-gallon jar, glass jar filled with 3 parts water and 1 part gas. So I was just bubbling outside air into the water using actually I had a big tire tube that I inflated up, and I was using that to pressurize the air through. And I'm going to get back to this drawing here. So all you guys out in various universities around the United States, Canada, and the world, you'd be interested in this because from what Dr. Deagle was talking about, Bill Deagle, he's one of my guys I've been following, a brother in the Lord, that the universities have less than around about 8% knowledge. The rest of the 92% knowledge is not allowed to be taught in the universities. So in simple terminology, those of you that go to university, you don't know it all. There's much more out there that you're not aware of. So we're taught certain things in academia that keeps us in the box. So this technology they're bringing to you is, I believe it's outside of the box. All right. So I'm going to use a wand here to fill this bottle full of vapor. And so it's just a bottle full of vapor here. It's all in the vapor. I don't know if you can see it or not. That's the vapor. That's the gas vapor. It's a sunny day. And this juice container is a clear plastic juice container. That's very important. And what the Lord showed me to do is to fill this up and let the sun hit it for about a minute. Because the sun actually changed the composition of the water, fuel, and air mix to turn it into a super fuel. Greater that generated a greater than a hydrogen burn. So you got carbon and water, so you'd have like a hydrocarbon combustion process, but not in the third state of matter. And what I saw was a flame from this that like a hydrocarbon combustion process that produced a flame outside that of the third state of combustion. So it actually generated the flame that was like this, about 3 feet long, okay, 1.5 to 2 inches by 3 feet long, 36 inches of a blue-white flame with flame velocity, I would estimate between 20 to 50,000 feet per second. And one of the interesting things on this is when the fuel would burn for about maybe 2-second burn, and the thrust would send this up about 60 to 70 feet up in the air. And when I was first doing it, I had a stick duct taped here like that, nailed onto the test shed. And remember that it had this is all rippled, and it has a shrink wrap on it. You can't pull that shrink off by hand. I tried it. You just end up tearing it to shreds and destroying the bottle. But anyway, I had this duct taped like this, nailed to the test shed, and when I lit it with a long 2-foot match, believe it or not, I did not see this bottle leave. It generated so much thrust so quickly that my eyes failed to see it take off. And I looked up and it was about 60, 70 feet up in the air. So that got me curious. Well, this is, I've seen hydrogen burn before, but this flame here, when it took off, it generated a flame, a sound that went beyond the audible sound into the supersonic and upper ranges. So it went beyond the audible ranges, and the flame velocity was absolutely incredible. I haven't seen nothing in the natural known standard fuels that would generate that kind of flame velocity. You're talking about maybe 2 drops of fuel, and I had a piece of 1/2-inch copper in there. So altogether, this unit might have weighed between 2 to 3 ounces. And if you compare the ratio of gas vapor to the weight of the bottle, that's probably 500 to 1. So you got 1%. You got 1/10 of 1% of the fuel being able to lift this up 60, 70 feet up in the air. That's pretty incredible. Okay, one other factor I'd like to show on this, I think I might come back to do a second part on this. And most of you guys won't believe this. I'm just showing you the results, that's all. And it wasn't until recently that I believe that I actually figured out what happened to this fuel. But when I left it in the sun, the water, gas, and air mixture was somehow affected or changed into something else. Now, when it burned, it created the flame was not in the third state, but in the fourth state. It was actually a plasma ion reaction that took place. Okay, I'm going to come back to you on the second part of this in a few moments. This is Josh coming to you from here on the East Coast of Canada.